So, hi, ladies. Welcome to All Heads Recognise. This is a podcast called Turning the Page. We work here with young people. We're really interested to hear all about what you do. I'm Terry Lewis, and I'm the director of All Heads Recognise. Can you introduce yourselves, and then we'll get going?
So my name's Jenny.
My name's Deanne.
I'm Anthony. I'm also part of All Heads Recognise as well.
I was thinking, did you want
More?
Do you want
We kind of wanted more, you know, because
I thought you was gonna ask.
Yeah,
wanted
we're
some-
going to ask you questions, but you know, you are
Okay.
professional. We've got 3 footballers.
Footballer as well?
Hello. Yeah, we've got footballers. We've got 3 footballers in the room, male, female, and we're just here, and it's great. It's really amazing to have you both sitting here, and you, Anthony, as well, because it's been a long time coming, and I wanted to find out the difference between your game and some of the issues that you have as your team versus what other teams have, and it's going to be a nice conversation, and I hope it's going to be a conversation that we can continue to have and continue to talk about some of the things that you go throughout the rest of your career, kind of thing, and as you make it up the leagues and so on and so forth, you have to come back and tell us all about it and stuff like that, and just have a general chit chat, really. Okay, so we have this metaphor called turning the page. So in other words, it's kind of like, when's the last time you did something that's super amazing in your life? Yeah, and it could also be about when's the last time you read a book, but it's about when you did something super amazing or something challenging or something that's taken you to a different place in your life, yeah, that you can share with other people and, you know, share your experiences. So who wants to go first?
I can go first.
Yes, go ahead.
So turning the page. So the most defining moment for me was just before I was going to uni. So picking where to go. At first, I wanted to do chemical engineering. I loved science, and this was like around the time COVID was happening. But I didn't really want to go uni. I've always known like uni won't be for me. I want to do a degree apprenticeship. That way, I'm already ahead of everybody else and secure a job. But COVID happened, and there were no degree apprenticeships in chemical engineering, and I just thought, okay, what am I going to do? And then I thought about doing medicine, and I was just like, I'm actually quite academically lazy.
As we sit here in you know, the Norma Gibbs academic of excellence.
Academics is important. I think you're right. Don't no. What I meant by that is I was like always naturally gifted, smart. I love to learn, but then it's just like certain things. Like I did chemistry, physics, biology, and I just thought they're so demanding. I don't want to go to uni and do that all again. And plus, my focus was the heart. Like, okay, if I do medicine, I'm going to later then want to specialize in the heart. And then my head of years, they found this course called cardiac physiology, which is completely unheard of. There's about 5 schools in the UK that actually offer that course. And I was like, okay, great. Let me just apply to the London schools because I really don't want to leave London. Like, I love it here, and I just don't want to be away from home. It'll be the first time moving. The schools I got into, not close to London. So I got into Southampton and Leeds. And I just thought, well, Leeds, that's too far. With Southampton, I can at least come home. But I got the grades, and Leeds offered me an unconditional offer. So
well done, because Leeds is a thing. It's a thing.
It's the best
academically.
school for the course as well. It's the best school in the country, and I remember thinking, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to move. I don't want to. Like, can I defer? Let me pick another course. Mm-hmm. But I just thought, you know what? No, I've worked hard. I deserve to go to the best school.
Exactly.
And yeah, I went all the way to Leeds, packed up all my stuff. None of my friends went to school up north. They all stayed in the Midlands or down south. So I didn't know a single person. And this is the height of COVID. So there was no freshers, there was no parties to go to, so you just you and your housemates. And then I did about 2 years up there as a cardiac physiologist, a student, and just living away from home, being away from London. When I came back to London during the breaks, it just made me realize how much I've outgrown where I'm from. Like there's so much more, and I'm a better person because I made the move that I didn't want to make. And so yeah, that's a big part of my journey, was moving to Leeds for uni.
Oh, that's a really heartwarming story, especially me being in academic. It's because I hear stories like this, but they're quite different. We hear stories of young people wanting to get into universities like Leeds and Warwick, and and not having that opportunity, and you having that opportunity in such a critical time. And having to make that choice with no freshers, because no freshers is serious. So so it well done to you. How about the time when you turned the page?
I would probably say, for me, I'd probably say when I left my previous job. So at my previous job, I was there for 4 years. Of course, when you spend a lot of time at a job, you become accustomed, comfortable, but sometimes complacent. I felt like I was so used to the routine and I also had the benefits of working from home. It was a fully remote job. And at first, I liked the idea of working from home. It was just like, oh, yeah, I can just, wake up whenever, or, I don't have to do the commute, and everything. But eventually I realized that I kind of miss outside. Like, I kind of miss, waking up and I know it sounds crazy, but I actually like miss getting up and having to go to work. I miss kind of like interacting with people. It kind of felt like I was working, but I was always seeing the same four walls, always seeing, always doing the same thing. But with that job, as mentioned, I was very comfortable there. I got along with a lot of people, but I kind of knew that I needed a change. And I feel like nowadays it is quite hard to find jobs. Nowadays you don't necessarily want to leave something until you have something there already. And at the time I was applying for jobs. I was like, okay, cool. Do I just leave this job and just kind of just hope something comes up, or do I stay in a job where I'm comfortable, but I'm not necessarily happy? And I made the decision to resign. Of course, I made a lot of friends there, even though it was remote. But like, I made a lot of friends there, and I made that step. I left my job. Like I said, I was applying for jobs and everything, and a role came up, and the role that came up, it said customer support. So I was just thinking, yeah, like, probably just interacting with customers and, what you do on a normal basis. And then I went to the interview and it was about accounting. And I was like, okay, accounting, I don't know anything about accounting. But I was like, do you know what? Let me try and everything. You never know where it could take me. You never know where I could go with it. Ended up obviously taking the job. I got accepted. And last year I got 2 promotions. So I'm now working more on the accounting side, and with accounts. So I'd say for me, I'd say it was a big step because it was kind of like, you never know if the grass is greener on the other side. You never know if making that step is the right decision or wrong decision. But I can say I made the right one, and now I'm in a job where I'm happy. My salary is increased, and I can work hybrid. I can work at home and in the office as well. So I've got more of a choice.
Okay, on to you, Anthony. When's the last time you turned the page?
The last time I turned the page was probably coming to work here, Terry.
Go, tell me.
Obviously, I've played football for about 16 years. So coming out of football and then coming into a role like this in education and trying to motivate and help the younger kids and stuff, it was something new to me, but it's becoming enjoyable more and more. So that's probably the first time I've turned the page. But I'm interested in you guys' football career.
Yes.
So now we've got turning the page out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's get on to. So tell me, what's going on in women's football? Because I just really need to know what's going on in women's football.
I would say women's football. And it's funny because I was actually having a conversation about this the other day. Women's football in comparison to men's football, there's such a gap. It's like you see and it's not just about the money. It's also about injuries, about the body, about the mindset. There's so many differences. Um, like for example, you've got males that can earn thousands a week,
Hundreds.
hundreds of thousands a week, and then ladies. As of recent, with the season ending, you've seen like a lot of clubs talking about, like they don't have the finances to help the girls go up to higher leagues. Um, and you've got girls that are earning the same as if they were working a 9 to 5. And that will deter a lot of females, a lot of women that want to play football from joining football or getting into the sport. Because it's like, why? You've got to kind of find that balance between passion and what's really right for you. Injury wise as well. I'm talking from experience as well. I'm quite injury prone, and due to that, I've had to take a lot of time out of football, and that can mess with the mental. It can have an impact on like your everyday. And I'd say the gap, if I'm going back to the main point of the gap, with men, I feel like, especially at top teams or even non-league teams, you've kind of got that support. You've got physios, you've got that additional support. So if you are injured, maybe your journey isn't as long as females. A lot of women's football team, unless you're playing at like a top league, like the Arsenals, the AFC Wimbledons, the Chelseas, it's quite limited. So I'd say yeah,
So,
main gap.
so what team do you guys play for?
So we play for Croydon Women FC.
Okay.
So yeah, quite local, our home ground just down the road.
Oh, but the athletics track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But going off what Dee said, so this is actually my first season playing football. So I'm a sprinter by trade. And you mentioned that the money is the issue, and I remember I used to take athletics quite seriously. So I'd been doing it from when I was about 8 till like 15. Seriously, I was doing academy stuff. I was running for the county, but I always knew, okay, if sports doesn't work out, you need to have a backup, and I've always known that. So I actually did stop doing athletics to focus on my GCSEs, to focus on my studies, since I knew I was, academically I'm gifted, so it will always be secure for me. And yeah, so like Dee said, there's the money issue. And also just, I remember I did play football briefly from like year 7 to year 9, but it was, the girls' team was a lot different to the boys' team. They'd get trips away to Spain, to Holland. The girls never had any of that. So then stopped playing football because we didn't get the same things, and then it just became boring. So yeah.
But can you see the change from obviously when you was 15 to, I don't know how old you are now, but
Yeah, I can see like a
from
massive
now.
change. Women's sport is broadcasted, football's broadcasted. Like young girls are seeing themselves and other people. There's more pathways for us to get involved. So yeah.
Definitely, especially with like the women's Euros as well. Like it was getting broadcasted everywhere. For example, my little sisters don't necessarily like football. They like football because I like football. But even them watching it, it's inspiring for them. They want to see me on TV. They want to see themselves on TV. So I'll definitely say that it's grown. Yeah, definitely grown in the last few years.
I'm gonna have to skip my next question because the next one was, what would you have to say to young girls? But you have just answered that question. So I mean, in your time playing football, who's your role models? Who? Because that's gotta be a difficult question, right?
So growing up, the one player I always knew was Ronaldinho. That's for my brothers. They had him plastered on the walls. That's the first football player I knew of. Then getting into football myself and watching it, now I definitely say Lauren James.
Ooh. Okay.
So Lauren James there.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's I've seen her play a few times. Chelsea, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Skillful
good
player. Role model. I would say for me, so I'm a Man United fan. So
Boo.
I can't say that. Stay calm. Stay calm.
I'm a Man United fan, so for me it was always Ronaldo. But then once I was introduced to women's football a bit more, I would say again another United player, Russo. She's a striker at United, and I feel like we kind of have the same kind of gameplay. So yeah.
Yeah, so I was going to ask you, what positions do you guys play?
So I play on the wing.
Okay, that's all right.
Both. I do a bit of both.
Both. She's a sprinter, so
Yeah, so like...
yeah, she could
Yeah.
run. I am a winger as well, but preference I'd like to play up front. But as of recent, a left winger.
So is there any points of the times where you are both fighting for the same position?
I don't think so. I feel like you always start, and if you're injured or something, you come off.
See,
and I'll come
back
off
to
you.
injury prone.
So what do you think is causing these injuries? Do you think is it your health, or is it because of your scheduling, or?
I'd probably say a bit of both. I'll say scheduling maybe because I work a 9 to 5. I'm always Monday to Friday. I'm kind of always at work. I do obviously exercise as well, but I feel like if I was to compare like my current lifestyle to a lifestyle of somebody that was playing for like a women's team, they've got more time to focus on their exercises. If there's any, like any pains, they can get seen by people. Not saying that that's not available now, but I just feel like the vast majority of my time is focused on work and stuff. So if I do feel injuries, maybe it's a me thing. I kind of leave it a little too long, or I'm like, oh, like it's okay, like it will probably go, and then doomsday comes, and then I'm injured. Really. What about yourself?
I'm actually not injury prone. I feel like I've been doing sports like continuously. Like even though I did take a break from athletics, I was always doing something else. Like I was doing gymnastics throughout uni. And me, I'm really good with my stretching and recovery. So I feel like I'm actually not very injury prone.
Oh, because the reason I asked that is because obviously, playing football, obviously, you got your coaches, they expect high level during training and matches, and obviously you're not full time, so they still probably expect that level like you're full time in the small period they get to see you. So that's why I'm thinking injury. I wouldn't say you're injury prone. That's what I'm saying. I know you say you're injury prone, but it might be the load you're getting.
True.
And the expectation they expect from you on the small. Because how often do you train? Twice a week?
Once. So we only train. So we train on a Tuesday, and that's at like 8. Yeah, 8. So if you're thinking it's midweek, a lot of us have work or
that's
other.
what I mean. So there's a lot of load.
Yeah, a lot of it to attend. I mean, we've got work or stuff to attend to, then to go training. So yeah.
It could be that. I know you say injury prone. I don't like when people say I'm injury prone because it's kind of like a negativity that coaches will pick up on that and say, do you want her? Because she's injury prone. Nah. Do you get what I mean? And if you're labeling yourself as that already.
Do you know what? I think that kind of comes from the fact that I didn't get into a team due to that. So before I was playing for Croydon, I was on trial for AFC Wimbledon, and I'd say I was like every trial game, every training session, I was trying to give 100%, but I could always still feel a pain in my knee and everything. And then when it came to like them telling us like if we got in or not, like he said, it was one of the hardest decisions because as a footballer, he can see that I've got the techniques, but he can't take me on because I'm injury prone. So I feel like it is definitely something negative. But I think it's kind of something within. I've got to kind of lose that thought, but it's hard to when you've lost out on opportunities because of that.
Okay, yeah.
So, toxicity in male football.
Oh, here we go.
Comments, opinions.
You go first, Steve.
In our football, I think as a male footballer yourself, I think it would probably be best for you to go first in this one.
Yeah. How about you?
I don't see toxic. What's the word? Toxicity.
Yeah.
I don't really see it. I see silliness and foolishness, but toxicity. It's kind of like what we were just talking about coaches labeling players, and really and truly, they don't have the credentials to label someone injury prone. You're not a physio, you're not a doctor. Do you get what I mean? You get told this person's injured, but you don't have the qualifications to actually call someone injury prone. Do you get what I mean? There's always a reason why someone gets injured. Do you get what I mean? It could be the workload. Because the players nowadays, you would run through a brick wall for your coach, right? And training 1 hour, hour and a half, 2 hours for the week, and then go and play an intensity match. Your coach wants you to press. He wants you to. How is it possible if it's down to you to do the extra work outside of football, right? But then they expect a lot. They will expect you to be professional. They expect you to be all these things, but they're not providing the service to help you to do it. Do you get what I mean? So it happens in the men's game as well. Coaches label players all the time. Could be about anything. He's lazy or he's timekeeping, especially with the young ones. But it could be a point of one of the young boys might live in a bad area. He can't leave his house at a certain time to get to training because it could get dangerous for him. Do you get what I mean? But some coaches don't understand that, and they'll label him as he doesn't really want to be here. So that's the only thing I'll say about that.
So what personal values and what sacrifices have you guys made? So first, personal values. What are your personal values? And I ask you that, because I'm trying to understand what's needed for women's, your values within football. What are they?
I actually haven't thought about my values and stuff,
That's a good question. Resilience. I'll probably say you've got to be very resilient in football, especially women's football. We're all females. A lot of females take a lot of things personally, and sometimes it's not personal. It's just for your development. You win some games, you lose some games. You've got to be able to bounce back from losing games and continue with your everyday life. You've got to deal with, like I mentioned earlier, the turn downs from clubs. So yeah, I'll say resilience is a big one for me.
I'd say maturity. Say that because we play against teams of like different aged people. You can have 16-year-old, 27-year-olds, and it's easy to get caught up in the heat of it, where you're getting shoved, you're getting booted, you're getting kicked, and for you to like keep your cool.
Composure. You have to keep your composure.
Because you have to remember as well, like you're playing for a team, you don't want to get sent off and then it's causing issues for your team. So always like keep in your head, like if the other team decides to play dirty, don't stoop down to their level. Like play your football, win the game with your football. And then sacrifices, I would say now have been doing athletics again, and we train on the same night. So I have to do 1 day on, 1 week on, 1 week off, just to keep my commitment to like both teams. So yeah, that's a sacrifice. And as well, coming from work as well. Like straight from work, I don't really get a chance to go home. It's either straight to athletics or straight to football. So yeah, that's the sacrifice I've had to make.
True.
Okay. So, what would you tell your younger self? If you had to go through this all over again, what would you tell your younger self about women's football?
Keep going. Be the change you wish to see. Just because I didn't see people who look like me playing football I should be the person, so like younger kids can also see. So yeah, that's what I tell my younger self.
Kind of on the same topic, probably don't give up. Even if doors close, there's always going to be new ones opening. And yeah, just keep on going. Like, yeah, I don't think there's so many opportunities nowadays. Like I said, if one door closes, there's always going to be another one, even if it's not football as a player. There's reffing, there's sports journalists, there's social media. There's so many different avenues for you to go down.
Oh, is it me? Yeah.
Hello. That's like, you know, it's just don't do this male thing, you know, because yeah.
So my one will probably be just work a little bit harder. Be more in touch with your football. I think when you're in there, you can take liberties, if you know what I mean. We train from 10 till 12, get home by 1, got the whole day to yourself. But we have all the facilities there. But I'm rushing home to go play computer or something silly when now I'm packed up, I'm finished. I'm dying to go and train in good facilities, like, and I had it all there, and it would have been. I could have prolonged my career by doing the right thing, so that would be my thing.
Yeah. Another question for you, Anthony, because what you just said. So you've had luxury access to all of these facilities in comparison to these wonderful Croydon FC football team who haven't had that. I mean, what information could you share with them as somebody who's played in the top of your game? What advice could you give to them as two young women coming up and you've?
I think you just have to love your football. So, for example, you've got a lot of hours in the day. Obviously, you got work and stuff, but I'm sure you could find an hour or two where you can go to the gym or have your football. Football is a sport where you could improve by yourself. Do you know what I mean? You want to feel the ball. You want to get good touches on the ball. The more touches you get on the ball during the week, the more comfortable you'll feel on your match day. So it's just about putting in that time and putting in that work for yourself, because the coaches have got 22 players they have to worry about. Do you know what I mean? It's like a classroom. Like when you got a teacher, he's got 22 kids he has to worry about. So he can't give or she can't give you that time that you probably do need. So you have to use your own initiative and actually get going and put the work in.
True.
And final but last question: who is going to win?
Us. Question.
No if, buts, or maybes. Us. We've got a final tomorrow.
There's a final tomorrow.
Yeah, so we both play for the first team, but we also help out with the development team as well. So we've got the development final tomorrow.
Croydon's cheating.
Yes.
That's what that meant.
We got them
because of the final. They brought the big guns down. That's what they've done. Yeah, she tried to nice it. She tried to nice the whole thing. Yeah, we help out sometimes.
In our defense. So, we both actually started off in the development team. We started off in the development team. Then obviously worked our way up, putting in them hours, and then we moved up to first team. I then became a player coach of the development team.
Okay.
But kind of not having enough time in the day, working, and as a coach, like you kind of said, you got a lot of players that you got to deal with. I just didn't have that time. So yeah, player coach, and then so we can still kind of play in the development here or there.
Yeah, because it's the final. If it was a normal game, they're not there.
But no, we're gonna win.
Where's
tomorrow.
my wingers? Where's the wingers gone?
And we're gonna win next week Thursday as well.
Absolutely.
Well,
in Jesus' name.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm wishing you guys every single success. I am super duper sitting. I'm proud. I'm like, what? Proudauntie.com. Yeah, because I just see something really amazing, and your stories are really, heartfelt as well. It's really nice to see that you've taken this step to play for Croydon as well. I mean, it's been a nice conversation. I'd love for us to do this. I'd love for us to sit down, watch a bit of a game, and slander it. You know, from a women's football. You understand? Because they've always got so much to say. But I think that we need to like analyze the game and like come back and say, did you watch that game?
Exactly.
Well, my man was tripping. And stuff like that. So I'd really love for us to be able to do that and for you to come and tell us. So after you've done this and you've you brought it home, you need to come back and tell us how you brought it home.
Listen, we'll be here on Friday with both trophies.
That's it.
That is going to be amazing. Yeah, and then we have to do a live.
Of course.
That has to be live.
Of course, man.
Okay, so thank you so much.
No worries.
Thank you
for having us.
That's okay.
Welcome to Turning the Page. Turning the Page. Keep listening.